Hey there, team. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to spend a few minutes today and in the future sharing some thoughts about worship. I know that we can't meet at this time, and that's a real bummer for me. I would love to be sowing into us as a team and us as a ministry to grow as worshippers, because I think that's such an important part of what we do. But I want to try and take some time, maybe once a week or once a fortnight, to just share some thoughts about worship. And hopefully that helps us all reflect on what God has for us, what God calls us to, the promise that worship is, the gift that worship is, and the potential that there is in it for us to connect with God, for us to glorify Him, and then for us to lead out of that when that becomes more of an opportunity for us. But I would just love to invite you into a bit of a journey to explore worship a bit. These videos will be pretty short, just one simple idea that I want you to take away and think about, and maybe have God speak to you about, and we'll go step by step through some ideas. So I want to start in John 4. Now, I spoke about this stuff with the worship leaders a while ago, but I remember around about a year ago, it wasn't long after we landed in Bendigo, I was reading through the story of the woman at the well and just got really hit and struck by a couple of really, really incredible things that I'd read before but just hadn't stood out to me as much. So I'm just going to read this quick passage in John 4, starting at 21. Jesus says to the woman at the well, "Believe me, dear woman, the time is coming when it will no longer matter whether you worship the Father on this mountain or in Jerusalem. You Samaritans know very little about the one you worship, while we Jews know all about him, for salvation comes through the Jews. But the time is coming, indeed it is here now, when true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. The Father is looking for those who will worship him that way. For God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth." There's two things I want you to take out of that, or I want us to take out of that. Firstly, Jesus uses these words, true worship, or true worshippers. He says, the time is coming when true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. When those words first stuck out to me, it just blew my mind that there's true worshippers. Like, that must mean that there is this form of worship, there is this ability to be a worshipper that is true according to God. If something's true, it must mean that there's also something that could be false or an imitation. But God says really plainly that there are true worshippers. It's possible for us to become, in the eyes of God, it's possible for us to be true worshippers of Him. Now, that's something that I want to pursue. If God says it's possible for me to be a true worshipper, I want to know what that is and how I can be that, because that's His definition of how a worshipper can be. And that's one of the things I want us to explore through these videos. The other one is that it says here, the Father is looking for those who will worship Him that way. God is looking. You know, the Bible sometimes talks about God's eyes spanning across the earth, and as He looks for, in this case, looks for worshippers, that He's drawn to that. And I know for me, I want to be a worshipper that God is drawn to. It says here that God is looking for that. He searches for that. He seeks that. That's amazing to me, that God would seek out my worship if it's true worship. Well, it's important for us to know what true worship is. It's important for us, if this is what God is saying, that we discover what true worship is and how we can be true worshippers. And I'm going to pick that up next time we meet up like this. So bless you today. Hope you have a great day. Encourage you to get stuck into John 4. I love this story of the woman at the well. It's just such an important and incredible teaching in the New Testament on worship. So why don't you explore that, press into God and see what He's saying about being a true worshipper and how He might seek your worship in that way. Bless you today, guys. Bye.